Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? I want to walk you guys through these regular verbs that end in ed and ir, and just how to approach your studying whenever you are looking at your ebook or your textbook. And sometimes we just tend to stare at the page and go, okay, what am I supposed to do with this information? It doesn't look interesting. It looks like a table. It is a table. How do I transfer this knowledge off the paper into my brain? Okay, so you really have to understand the function of this table. What's the point of even putting this here? The point of this is to show that we have a pattern. All verbs in Spanish follow a pattern, and it's awesome when you pick up on that pattern because it makes it so much easier. Once you learn how one verb works, you actually learn how the whole group of verbs works. So we have here the verb comer, very useful verb in Spanish, el verbo comer. La forma de yo como. We've already learned that the ending here tells us that we're referring to yo. So we don't have to say yo como. Yo como ensalada. I eat salad. I can just say como una ensalada. And you understand that I'm referring to myself because no other form ends with o. Bien. So this form como is just like the forms we've already seen with AR verbs like hablo, practico, toco, tomo, ¿qué más? What other verbs have we seen? We've seen camino, I walk, paso tiempo, and so many others. Tú comes, you eat. So como, I eat, comes, you eat. Usted come, él or ella come. You formal eat, so you would use this form to someone, that you would speak to formally, someone you would call señor or señora, or profesor, profesora. Usted come pizza. Do you eat pizza? And we're learning, in this chapter, we're actually learning words of frequency. So, do you eat pizza often? You could add, usted come pizza a menudo. Usted come pizza con frecuencia. Sí, como pizza cada semana. I eat pizza every week. That actually sounds really good right now as I'm talking about it. It's going to make me hungry. So, I will move on before we keep talking too much about pizza. So, él o ella come. He or she eats. Nosotros or nosotras comemos. Comemos, we eat. Vosotros coméis, y'all eat. And remember, this vosotros form is only used in Spain. So they have a particular form for y'all. Everywhere else in the world, we're only going to use ustedes, comen. Ustedes, anywhere else in the world, is going to be for your friends. It's going to be for, people that are in a position of authority. There's no difference here between formal and informal. In Spain, we have the informal coméis you would use with your friends versus the ustedes you would use in a formal setting. So you guys can stick with ustedes if you prefer. You may see and hear vosotros, especially if you ever take advantage of like our department study abroad trips to Spain. You'll definitely hear it all the time. Ellos and ellas, they eat, comen. So just pay attention to this pattern. O, es, hemos, eis, en. And one thing that might help is as you're learning these forms, pronounce them out loud. Imagine what they mean in your head, and even maybe imagine a situation where you would be using it. So imagine you're having a conversation with somebody and you're saying tú comes. Imagine you're thinking about your friend and you're saying él or ella come. So yeah, those are just some tips to make it a little bit more interesting and make this information stick. So some common ER verbs we have aprender, and since we have the pattern here for comer, we can apply it to any of these. So I learn would then be aprendo. We learn would be aprendemos. They learn would be aprenden. Comer, we have comprender, to understand. Do you understand? We would just say comprendes, or usted comprende. Does he understand? Comprende? Comprende español? Sí, comprende. Correr, to run. Y'all run. Corren, or corréis. I run. Corro. I don't run. No corro. Leer, leo. Lees. ¿Qué lees? What are you reading? Or what do you read? Leo mi libro de historia. I'm reading my history book. Ustedes, ¿qué leen ustedes? What do y'all read? Leemos revistas. We're reading magazines. So you get the idea. And then we have IR verbs. IR verbs are almost exactly the same. The only thing different about this whole pattern is that our nosotros and our vosotros form, instead of being vivemos, like corremos or comemos, it's vivimos. Instead of corréis or coméis, we have vivís. So these are the only two forms that will differ. And common IR verbs that work exactly the same way are asistir. This a in parentheses means that we have to use the preposition a with this verb. So if I say I attend an event, I can't just say asisto un evento. I have to say asisto a un evento. And that's just, there's really no explanation for that. It's just a preposition that has to go with the word. I write a blog. Escribo un blog. I live in Texas. Vivo en Texas. I receive gifts. Recibo regalos. So, so those are your ER and IR verbs in a nutshell. The good news is, that's it. There are only 3 basic types of verbs in Spanish: AR, ER, and IR. So you've now, in theory, seen them all. Of course, there's tons and tons of verbs, but once you know how one of them works, you basically know how the rest work as well. So hopefully that makes it a little bit less intimidating. So vamos a practicar con unas preguntas. So using the verbs listed, these are some new verbs from your vocabulary. Answer the following questions. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces en un fin de semana típico? What do you do? ¿Qué haces can mean what do you do, or it can mean what do you make. So probably you would interpret this as what do you do? ¿Qué haces en un fin de semana típico? And then con qué frecuencia? So you can go over your frequency words in your chapter. They're pretty straightforward. We looked at a couple of them in another PowerPoint. The basic words siempre, a veces, and nunca. If you want to use those. So siempre, a veces, and nunca. But we had some other words too. You can use words like normalmente or a menudo, meaning normally and often. And if you want to make something negative, you could say no siempre, not always. No a menudo, not often. So, ¿qué haces en un fin de semana? And then the second question is, ¿qué no haces? So, we don't want to repeat this verb haces in our sentence. We'll just start with our verb in yo form. So, I'm going to pick out some things that I typically do on a weekend. En un fin de semana típico, yo, we have the verb ir here. So for ir, we're going to have to totally not even follow this pattern that I just showed you guys. Ir is totally irregular. Ir and ser, which we have learned. So ir, remember, your form is going to be voy. It doesn't follow the usual pattern. You just have to kind of memorize ir separately. So voy de compras, I go shopping. Bien? En un fin de semana típico, leo una novela. I send messages, mando mensajes de texto a mis amigos y a mis padres. I'm going to add in my parents. Tuitear comes from, this is a very new verb, a neologism is what that's called when new words are made up. Comes from to tweet. So I do not tweet. I will put that on the second question. Visitar a mi familia, not so much. Asistir a los partidos, maybe sometimes. So asisto a los partidos. Careful, we have a false cognate here. Partidos doesn't mean parties. That would be fiestas. Partidos here are games. And partidos are, in particular, they're sporting events. Not like a game of chess or a game of checkers. That's juego. But we have partido de fútbol. I'm going to put partidos de básquetbol, which is another way of saying baloncesto. Correr en el parque. Maybe later this semester I'll get up the energy and the energy to correr en el parque, but lately not so much. So I'm going to leave it here. So what can I do to spruce up these answers a little bit? I can add in my frequency words. So con qué frecuencia? I would say normalmente voy de compras. Normalmente voy de compras. A veces leo una novela. Siempre mando mensajes de texto. And you can move these words around a little bit, but I'm putting them where they sound natural to me. And honestly, that's the best way to learn Spanish, is by reading and hearing other people use it, and things will start to sound natural to you too. Asisto a los partidos. Asisto a los partidos de básquetbol, pero, I'm going to add in another phrase here, pero no a menudo. So I attend basketball games, but not often. Or I could even say not very often. No muy a menudo. Bien. Okay, so think about for yourself, which one of these would you use? Just put your verb in yo form. Now, ¿qué no haces? I'll talk about the things on this list that I don't do. And I can even add nunca if I want to emphasize I never do it. So, no escribo un blog. I've wanted to a few times, but I've never done it consistently. So no escribo un blog. No voy a conciertos. Típicamente no voy a conciertos. And I could even add that phrase in there. Typically, típicamente no voy a conciertos. I can even use the word casi. If you guys have seen it in your chapter, casi means almost. Casi nunca. I almost never go to the movies. Casi nunca voy al cine. Or no voy al cine casi nunca. ¿Qué más no hago? No tuiteo. No tuiteo nunca. Visitar a mi familia. Well, my family technically lives, at least my immediate family lives really close, so I technically don't really visit them. So I'm going to say no visito mucho. Sometimes we can just use mucho. I don't visit them much. A mi familia. And then nunca bailo en un club. And correr en el parque. Lately I'll say, no corro en el parque. So the negation is pretty easy. All we do is put no in front of our verb. Okay, so that would be a good practice for you guys to think about things you do and never do, and say them in yo form. Bien? So let's think. Algo más? Anything else I want to look at with you guys? I think that's the most important thing. The next thing, once you kind of get this down, start incorporating question words. So question words are words like que. Que. So we can even use it in really simple sentences like ¿Qué haces? What are you doing? ¿Qué haces? And we can answer with just a simple word like what are you doing? I'm reading a novel. ¿Qué haces? Leo una novela. Bien. ¿Quién? The word quién means who. So ¿quién? Who runs? ¿Quién? And then we take our verb correr and we put it in the third person form. That's the he, she form. ¿Quién corre? Who runs often? ¿Quién corre a menudo? Okay, ¿quién? Let's do where. ¿Dónde? So notice that for ¿dónde we actually have a couple of other situations where we're going to have to use prepositions de, ¿dónde? And that's when we ask where you're from. And then we have another case where we'll use a dónde, which is where to. So where are you going to? ¿A dónde vas? Where are you from? ¿De dónde eres? But if we're just asking where something happens, we'll just use ¿dónde? So ¿dónde? ¿Dónde? I'm trying to think of a good one. ¿Dónde corres? We'll use correr again. ¿Dónde corres? Where do you run? Corro en el gimnasio. Corro en el parque. ¿Qué más? So we got ¿qué, quién, dónde? ¿Cuándo? ¿Cuándo is a good one. ¿Cuándo is where? So we'll use ¿cuándo when asking about days or times. So ¿cuándo? ¿Cuándo visitas a tu familia? When do you visit your family? Visito a mi familia en los fines de semana. I visit them on the weekends. ¿Cuándo haces la tarea? ¿Cuándo haces la tarea? When you do your homework. You could say hago la tarea todos los días. I do it every day. Or hago la tarea los lunes y los viernes. Okay, whatever day of the week you want to say. We could even say, we can count a qué hora as another question phrase as well, because that's asking specifically for the time. So, a qué hora vas de compras? What time are you going shopping? And we could say, voy de compras a las 6, por ejemplo. So we got who, we've got what, we've got when, we've got where, we've got what time. Cómo is how, so the easiest one we could say is cómo estás, but I'll try to think of something else. Cómo, no, cómo estás, let's leave it easy. Cómo estás, estoy bien. What about how do you spell? Things like cómo se escribe, how does one spell? How do you spell your name? Cómo se escribe tu nombre? And then I'm running out of time, so real quick, the last one I want to look at is cuánto or cuántos. So cuánto is how much. How much does it cost? Cuánto corres? How much do you run? All right, running out of time on this recording, so hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email or come see me in office hours. Hasta luego. Adiós.